The United States has become the most powerful country in human history with over 800 military bases and 37% of global military spending. Its position in the world can be traced back to its founding when it was not a global power. During the first 70 years of its existence, the United States expanded in both territory and influence in North America. However, early Americans were divided on whether the country should expand beyond the Pacific and Atlantic Oceans. The Industrial Revolution produced explosive economic growth, and the bigger U.S. economy required a more centralized state and bureaucracy to manage the growing economy, making it easier for expansionist presidents to push United States influence abroad. The key turning point came in 1898, when President McKinley dragged the country into war with Spain over the island of Cuba, and the United States acquired Puerto Rico, Guam, and the Philippines in the process. The U.S. annexed several territories in the Pacific, the Panama Canal Zone, and the American Virgin Islands, which put it on the map as a truly global power. During this time, America also began using its influence to protect its growing commercial and military interests abroad, installing pro-American regimes in places like Nicaragua and playing a major role in international diplomacy regarding the Western presence in China. World War I showed just how much America's influence had grown. President Wilson spearheaded America's most ambitious foreign policy initiative yet, the League of Nations, but Congress blocked the United States from joining it. During the Great Depression and the rise of Hitler, the U.S. was much more focused on its own region than on European affairs. Ultimately, though, America's ever-growing entanglements abroad made it impossible for it to stay out of global affairs entirely. In East Asia, the growing Japanese Empire posed a direct threat to American possessions and troops, which culminated in the Pearl Harbor attack, bringing the United States into World War II. After World War II, the United States was the only major power to avoid economic ruin, and it was the sole country equipped with atomic weapons. As such, it was in a unique position to set the terms of the peace and, with the aim of preventing another war in mind, it took advantage of that. The most famous example of this is the creation of the United Nations. The UN Charter set up a system of international law prohibiting wars of conquest and served as a forum in which the international community could weigh in on disputes and help resolve them. By creating these institutions, the United States committed itself to being deeply involved in the world's problems.